going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome all my new subscribers. Always got to take a second and thank each and every single one of you guys that take the time out of your day to watch and support my channel. It means the world to me. Alright everybody, before we get this video started, if you have not yet, I want you to go down there and hit that subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up for me. Click that little notification bell. That way when I upload more videos, you guys get notified. So, everybody, in today's video, we are talking about polishing pads. Better yet, happy polishing pads. Now, when are polishing pads happy? When they're clean, of course. So we're going to be talking about pad cleaning. Now, I have released a video on how I have been maintaining my polishing pads for the past, I don't know, three and a half years, 4 years. And it's been working fine for me. But today, everybody, I introduced something new. What is it, you say? Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Lake Country Pad Washer System 4000. That's what we're going to be talking about. I have it right here in the box. I'm going to give you my ins and outs of this pad washing system. I've been doing everything kind of my own way for the past 3.5 years, and I've seen a lot of people like this system and this pad washer, so we're going to dive into that and see what we like about it. Now, I picked this pad washer up for, I think it was like 85 bucks, 90 bucks at the Southern Detailers Conference. So I was there back a few months back at SDC in Kentucky with my Phoenix fam, and I went by the Lake Country booth after Brian with Apex came back with the box. I said, "Hey man, what's that?" And he was like, "Oh man, I picked this up for 85, 90 bucks." I said, "Do they have any more?" So I went back over there and they had one more left, and I snagged it up, this Lake Country pad washing system. So I've got a whole thing of dirty pads that I've been saving for this exact video, because I wanted to do a real life a Smurf video. My pros, my cons, is it worth it? And so yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We got the Lake Country 4000 system. I'm gonna get set up. I've got my water, I've got my pads, I've got my polishers here. I've got a test hood because I want to simulate real world workings into it from what I hear. So yeah, let's unbox this thing. So I've got the instructions here. Lake Country Pad Washer 4000. I've watched a lot of videos on this, and it's very self-explanatory, but I'm going to explain it to you guys. So it comes with the bucket, it comes with the separator. I'll pull it apart, and it comes with the Snappy Clean Boost. This is the additive that you put in the solution. This is basically the solution that you make in the bottom bucket. Now, you can reorder these. They sell these in packs. I know McKee's sells their basically their detergent. It's a little bottle with powder that comes with it. So in the box here, let's go ahead and get rid of that. We've got this bad boy. There we go. In the top, it's got the, this is where the solution comes out of here. Let me separate this real quick. Here we go. This is the first section. This comes with the tube, everything else. This is the top pump and lid. Now this here is your catch basin. So basically this goes in between this, like so, and this sits in your top bucket. Now what's key is, you guys can see this bottom piece here, this tube feeds through a rubber grommet. What's left in the bottom is your 5-gallon bucket. Okay, this is where your solution sits. So what happens is, you place this in the top of your bucket, you turn this, sits down in there like so. Now the blue catch basin, the tube goes through that rubber grommet. Now what happens is, when you're cleaning your pad in here, and you're pushing up and the solution's coming out, this automatically pumps it. You guys will see, I'll demonstrate it, I'll do a demo of it, but I want to explain to you guys, when you rinse this and all the old spent polish and all that stuff falls down into the blue bucket. Now that rubber grommet is going to keep it separated from the clean solution. So you're going to be constantly pumping clean solution into your pads until that catch basin is full. So that's pretty cool that as you're pumping, it keeps the dirty spent fluid separate from the clean fluid in the bottom. That's pretty cool to me. Those of you guys are probably wondering, who is this guy? Is that Clark Kent? No, it's just me. I just got new glasses, guys. Come on. It's Superman. That's funny, but no, I did get some new glasses. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do these work? Do they work? Do they fit? How do I look? So yeah, we've got this here. The instructions say to add 1.6 gallons. I'm not going to measure, but I've got about a half a gallon of water in here and about a gallon of water in here. Now, it doesn't state you have to use distilled water, but I have distilled water, so I'm going to use distilled water. So, I'm going to kind of get the camera switched around. I'm going to show you guys setting this thing up, and then we're going to jump into cleaning our pad. Now, I've had these pads sitting for a while. They're dried up. They're nasty. We're going to see how well it does cleaning up these old nasty pads. And it works for all kinds. Rotaries, DAs, force rotation, all size pads. I mean, not all size pads. I think it goes up to, let's see, your basic average pads, not all size pads. I don't want anybody to hold that against me, but I'm using 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. Those 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, I mean, you're really not going to clean those as you're polishing. You just go through each one. But your 3 inch, your 5 inch, your 6 inch, your rotaries, your 7 inch can go up to that. So I've got pads that have been sitting here that are really dried out, and we're going to see how well it cleans these. And then also I want to go through another scenario about this pad washer that I heard is really its key function, and that's cleaning while you're polishing. So I'm gonna get you guys set up. We're gonna fill this up. We're gonna get set up, and we're gonna demo this thing, and we're gonna jump into all the pros and cons about this, and I'm gonna let you know if I recommend this in my opinion. All right, everybody. So we've got our Lake Country set up here. What I'm gonna do is separate the blue from the black. I'm going to go ahead and set this over here. Now we've got our Snappy Boost Clean powder. Now, I'm a little bit skeptical about powder, but we'll see what it does. As long as it can completely break down. My biggest thing about powders is it really going to break down completely and dissolve? Or is it going to leave a little bit of grit in there? And my concern about that is the grit going to cause problems in the pad? So, like I said, I've never used one of these systems. So that's my concern. It's kind of like me being a mechanic. I'm concerned about it breaking down completely. Are those abrasives going to dissolve completely, or is it going to leave abrasive in my pad? Is it going to leave me chasing my tail on certain paints? So that's what I'm concerned about, but we'll see. Go ahead and give this a twirl. All right, we've got our approximately 1.6 gallons in here. We're going to take our Snappy Boost Clean pad cleanser. We're going to put it right in the water here. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to mix this up. And like I said, as long as it completely dissolves, I'm not going to be mad. I just don't want that grit to come out into the pad. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, that'll just be making more work for yourself. But we're going to swish this around in here. You guys can see here. Swish it around. It's a little foamy, nothing crazy. I could feel a little grit at the bottom, that's for sure. So what I want to do is I want to make sure all that grit is dissolving, because I don't want that in my pad. And I know a lot of people had success with rinseless washes, which you can absolutely use a rinseless wash in here if you wanted. But we're going with the Snappy Clean is what came in here. So I just want to make sure I don't feel any of that grit at the bottom of the bucket. So, and I apologize you can't see my face, but I want you guys to see what I'm doing. So, all right. Seems like it's actually dissolved. It's really slick too in your hand. So that is actually really, really nice. Nice and slick. That's good. Let me grab a pad over here. I mean a towel. Sorry, guys. So I've been very curious about this setup, and I've been wanting to pick one up. And honestly, I didn't realize how expensive they were. I mean, they range anywhere from $150 to $185. And I'll leave links to the cheapest price I could find at the time for this. I think it was like Detail King, somewhere online I found it. So yeah, so now that we got the solution mixed up, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in the top, like so. And now, as you guys can see here, when you pump this, oh, solution's gonna come out. You guys can see that there. Solution's gonna come out right here. So as you pump your pad, solution's gonna come out. So we've got it primed, ready to clean some pads. Now, we're gonna see how well this does with cleaning pads, and then we're gonna see how well this does at what I think is beneficial with the pad washing system. So let me get you guys set up again, and we're gonna go through this and talk about it more. All right, folks, so we've got our Lake Country 4000 pad washer set up. We've got a bucket full of dirty pads here. So let's go ahead and grab a pad. This is my Lake Country HDO blue pad, as you guys can see. Now this is an old pad, it's been sitting for a while, it's dry. Now what they want you to do is, hopefully you guys can see this good enough. We're gonna go ahead and put this pad on our polisher. We're gonna turn our speed down to the lowest speed setting, which is 1. All right, I'm gonna try to get you guys in here so you guys can see this. All right, now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna give it a few pumps around the polisher, or around the pad washer. That's gonna pump the fluid up into the pad. Now what you're gonna wanna do, they say 15 to 30 seconds, you're gonna wanna run this around the and instantly you can see that white milky residue coming off the pad. That's awesome. We'll give it another pump or two. All right, now what you're gonna wanna do is turn the speed up, and then you're gonna wanna lift the polisher up just above it, and then spin it. Dry. And there you go. I see a little bit left. Just a little bit. Now keep in mind, these pads have been sitting for, don't bash me, for weeks, waiting for me to put my pad washer together. It's a little damp. Honestly, I can go right back on the paint with this, but there's still a little bit of spent, there's a little bit of dried up polish here on the edges. I'm gonna go back in for one more try. Give it a quick spin. Not bad. Not bad. It's clean enough to where I'd go right back on the paint with that. And it's actually very slightly damp. And that's okay. That's going to keep the pad cool. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Honestly, for a pad that's been sitting there for weeks on end, dried up, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Oh. So, that's the first way of cleaning your pads. Now, where this system really shines. Let me get you guys set up again, and we're going to talk about where this system really shines. All right, everybody. So, let's jump into the portion of this video where I really think this pad washer is going to come in handy. For instance, I got my test hood set up here. I've got a brand new Lake Country medium pad right here. I've got my polisher set up right here. Now, what's a pad's worst enemy? You said it. Heat. So, my normal process when I'm doing pads and I'm correcting paint or I'm polishing, I'll usually use 2 pads and I'll pull them off and I'll blow them out in between each section pass, either with my Tornador, compressed air, and that's absolutely still something you can do. I don't think I'll ever be able to break that. But I've had a lot of people, especially my good buddy Fab with Brian with Fab Automotive Detailing. He said, "Dude, this is gonna make your polishing and your correction job so much easier. After each pass of the panel, you go, you clean your pad, you come right back. Not only is it going to clean out your pad, but it's also going to keep that pad cool. It's going to be slightly damp, and that's not going to hinder anything. It's going to actually keep your pad cooler, which is going to help increase the performance, help keep the pad clean, because a clean pad is you guessed it, a happy pad. The cleaner your pad, the better correction capabilities and the better defect removal you're going to get, just the overall better performance you're going to get out of your pad. So I'm going to demonstrate it right now on this test hood. I got a fresh pad, and this is exactly how I'm going to put this to use on my next job, especially when it comes to polishing, having to go blow out the pad out there, having a pad washer here by my side. Let's see how efficient that is. I'll put a few dots here on my pad. This is going to act like a vehicle that I'm polishing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and polish this section. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to clean my pad. And I'm going to come back, put more polish, and continue polishing. And then we're going to see how quick that process is. So let's do it. Put my polisher on my speed. All right, so I did my section pass. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna wipe off my polish. Oh, perfect. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna look, I'm like, all right, that looks good. Now it's time to move on to the next section. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go right over here, turn my polisher on low, couple pumps. Brand new, fresh, clean pad. It's a little damp. That's fine, totally fine. Couple more dots. Right back into work. Now what that is going to do, that's going to keep your pad clean and cool. It's going to be happy and cool, because a hot pad is not a happy pad, and not a happy pad is not a good pad. So that is pretty much it for the Lake Country pad washer. Now Get you guys set up. We're going to jump into some final thoughts. We're going to talk about pros and cons, when I would use this, how to use it, and my thoughts. All right, everybody. So we're jumping into a quick final thoughts segment on this Lake Country Pad Washer 4000. All right, let's go into it and let's go ahead and talk about the cons. Okay. I honestly wish they had a little bit higher of a lip here to catch a little bit more of the mist and the overspray. A little. It's not crazy, to be honest. But it does get a little bit of mist depending on how fast you spin your polisher. But you want to spin it out at a decent speed, so you get a little bit of the kind of mist come out from the pad. Nothing crazy at all. I wish they had more of a, I don't know, like a thing you can kind of spread open a little, and then when you put your pad in, you can close it a little, so it just kind of keeps that in a little bit. But it's nothing crazy at all, honestly, nothing crazy at all. You can see just a little bit here as I can bring it in close a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see, but there's a little bit on the rim. Nothing crazy at all. Now let's talk about, that's really the only con. And the con is maybe you having to buy more of the packets. I'm going to be using, I'm going to try this out with various rinseless washes, because I know you can use a rinseless wash in there at the bottom. I'm gonna try it out with some few different cleaners that I use. Maybe a little bit of Rags to Riches from P&S. Your favorite rinseless wash. We could put a little Hydra in there. Your favorite rinseless wash doesn't matter. I've heard it works great. But let's talk about where I think this thing is going to come in clutch is as you're polishing. I don't see it as, let me grab a thing of polishing pads like I had. I don't know where it went, but let me grab a big old bucket of polishing pads and come out here and clean my pads. I don't think that's really where this thing shines. Now, where this thing shines, in my opinion, is as you're doing a job. As you're doing a job. You keep this bucket right next to you, and after you come off a panel, pump, 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 swirl it, spin it. You don't even have to do 15, 30 seconds. No. Since it's still damp and since the polish or compound is still damp in the pad, it comes out exceptionally well. As you guys can see here. Very clean. Now with my old dry pad, normally I soak these. I'll soak them in some Rags to Riches. Little bit of maybe Super Clean or Kraken or any degreaser I have. I'll put a couple ounces in there, a little bit of rinseless wash, a little bit of Rags to Riches, and I'll soak them. But I wanted to leave them dry so I can see just how good this pad washing system works. But like I said, I don't think it's designed for that. I don't think it's designed for you to take a bucket of spent pads that have been in your garage for a while. Like I said, yes, I know I normally soak my pads, but just for the sake of the video, I wanted to see how it would clean them. And it still did a good job, but you could still see there's a little bit, just a little bit, nothing crazy. I wouldn't even be mad at that, but it still did great, some dried pads. But as you're polishing, as you're going around the car and you wipe off that polish, you lean down, pump, 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 run it, spin it right back on the paint, and it's going to keep your pad cool, which is going to help increase the lifespan of your pad. Also, it's going to help increase the cut and the performance of your pad as well. So I think that's really where this setup shines. Hopefully you guys heard that. That was a flyby. It is prone. Every video I do, there's a flyby. But yes, Pad Washer 3000, like I said, I picked this up for around 85, 90 bucks at the SDC, but it ranges anywhere from 150 to 180. Now, would I spend that? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would spend that for the simplicity of I don't have to get up, walk outside, blow out my pad, and then come back and then get on the car again. So, or on the panel, whatever panel I'm working on. So having this right by your side, knowing that it's got clean solution and it separates it, no matter what, you're getting clean solution in your pad, you're spinning it, you get a clean, cool pad, and that's gonna increase the life of your pad, the performance of your pad throughout the whole thing. And you could probably just use one pad. I mean, one pad. I've had, shout out Brian Fab. He said, you can use one pad. You go out to this thing after every pass, keep your pad clean and cool. Boom. You're not going to go through 15, 20 pads. I mean, there's people out there, yeah, that's what they do. They do a freaking fender and they put on a new pad. That's fine. If you can do that and you can afford that, that's fine. But I'll tell you what, this Lake Country 4000 pad washer, while you're doing a job, is fantastic. I'm not saying you can't clean your pads afterwards. I highly recommend soaking them. Dry, they don't. Dry, it kind of struggles a little bit just because it's not that aggressive. This top piece here, it's not that aggressive. Okay, it doesn't have all these aggressive nibs and edges to clean your pad, because obviously you don't want to damage your pad, so you want to clean it as safe as possible. But all in all, I give this a 9.5 out of 10. That other 0.5 being, I wish there was some sort of lid that swiveled out, maybe that you can swivel open. You can put your thing in and just kind of close the sides, spin your pad, and you ain't got to worry about anything coming out over the top. Although it's not that bad. So I know this may be kind of a long review, but I wanted to give you guys the Smurfs in and outs. It definitely gets the Smurf stamp of approval. That's for sure. I would highly recommend it. Even if I had to pay $180, I would definitely invest in this thing. There's going to be people that disagree, and there's going to be people that agree. That's fine. Let me know your guys' experience with this pad washer. This thing is, during a job, will be clutch. I mean, so clutch. And let's say you got 30 pads, right? As long as you soak them, just pre-soak them, and then you come in here and you knock this out instead of getting out there, washing with your hands. Although I do have my video. I'll leave it in the description below of how I used to take care of my pads. This is going to be a new way for me. But I'll leave that video in the description for those of you guys that don't even have this, that want to see how to maintain your pads without a pad washer. But this right here, I would definitely recommend. I would. It's not just because I got it on a deal. I picked it up. I've had this thing for months sitting in my garage waiting to put it to use. Highly recommend it. I would, if you're just a DIY enthusiast and you're really not polishing that often, honestly, it's probably not worth it for you, to be honest. If you want to really minimize the work and make it just a little bit simpler process for you to polish a car, definitely invest in it if you got the money. I would highly recommend it. Just keep this by your side. Like I said, you're polishing, you come off the panel, you wipe it off, you lean over, pump, 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 brrr, spin it, right back on the panel. And you're going to have a clean pad, and you're going to have an effective pad. So I highly recommend it. I won't ramble on anymore. But yes. Will it do 3-inch pads? Yes, I have my polisher, but it's the same exact process. Definitely, I would recommend it. If you're doing, I don't do that many. I'm not a full-time detailer, so but I would recommend it. I'm going to keep this by my side every polishing job I have. So check it out. I'll leave the links in the description where I can find this at this time of the video for the cheapest. I think, like I said, it ranges from $150 to $180, but I'll leave it in the description for you guys to check it out. Lake Country Pad Washer 4000, double stamp Smurf of approval. I highly recommend you pick one of these up, especially if you're doing, any kind of polishing. It just makes it really easier for you to come in, wash your pad, get back on the paint. Keep a cool, clean, happy pad. Because what's a happy pad? A clean pad. I appreciate all you guys. That's pretty much going to wrap it up here, you guys. If you found this video was helpful at all and you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel. Get down there, smash that thumbs up for me, click that little notification bell. That way when I upload more videos, you guys get notified. I appreciate all you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch and support my channel. It means the world to me. I hope all you guys out there have a fantastic day, night, evening, whatever it is where you're at right now watching. And I'm going to catch you guys all on the next video.